Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I am Tanvi Taneja. Going back to one of our top stories, Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the next generation reforms while congratulating the citizens on what he called the GST Savings Festival. DD India's Shishir Shela joins us from Mumbai now. Shishir, what have you seen so far in Mumbai? Have consumers, shopkeepers welcomed the new GST rates?
Well, absolutely. As far as we've seen that on the 22nd, the deadline was given for the new GST rates implementation, and since morning we have seen here that shopkeepers, the business players also have started getting a new fares and ultimately passing the benefit to the common customers here. Well, we also spoke to the principal chief commissioner of the CGST of Mumbai zone, and he actually stated that they've actually interacted with most of the business players also, and have also created awareness among the business industry as to how they're going to implement these particular tax reforms are concerned. Obviously, he said that this is quite, we can say, a simplified tax regime and probably a rate rationalization that probably we've seen in the GST reforms 2.0. Going forward, it is more simplified way because earlier there was a 4-tiered tax slabs. Right now we are seeing only 2-tiered tax slabs, that is a 5% and 18%. And that's the reason most of the people are going to get benefit of it, because nearly 400 plus items have been bring to the 5% tax bracket from earlier 12 or probably 18% tax bracket that we have seen. And that's the reason is actually giving benefit to the customers here. Now look at the internal economic conditions of the country. We have seen last month the Reserve Bank of India have unchanged the repo rate as almost 5.5%. Before that, in the budget also we have seen here that the tax slabs has increased to almost 12 lakh per annum. With the individuals having a 12 lakh salary or less than 12 lakh salary, probably he'll be exempted from the tax bracket. And that's the reason these measures taken by the government is giving more disposable income to the common man. And now obviously with the GST reforms, we may see that the household expenditure, a monthly household expenditure of a common man or probably middle class person is reduced to almost 5 to 10%. And that's a huge amount probably. And that's the reason most of the experts are saying that this amount, which probably the people are benefiting from it, either it will boost the consumption also. At the same time, it will also help to save more money from different type of investment options that are available for the people. So obviously it's a win-win situation for the customers also and for the consumers as well. At the same time, if you look at the trade aspect and the business aspect, obviously the few of the business players actually were quite worried about what the geopolitical situation panned out in last few months. But the way the government have taken steps now, even the traders and the businessmen are actually thinking that this will definitely give some boost to the demand here, and that's the reason. Now from the probably next month or probably from today itself that we have seen that festive season is on in India. We have seen the Navratri, we have seen Diwali festival, the New Year festival also. So obviously this will pick up demand in the Indian market for the next 2 to 3 months. Probably a consumer driven market we'll see. And that's the reason more numbers and more activities, economic activities will take place in Indian market, will benefit to the consumer and the trader as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shishir. Let me also now bring in some perspective here on the show. Sanjay Mangal, Chief Commissioner, CGST, Meerut Zone, joins me on the show now. Welcome, Sanjay ji, to DD India News. The GST 2.0 reforms have come into effect today, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the middle class and the neo-middle class are receiving a kind of double bonanza. But before we go into the specifics, how significant a day is it for the Indian economy and especially for these two classes of Indians?
Look, Tanvi, this onset of this GST reforms from today is a historic day in terms of taxation and economy for the country. There are two reasons for that. First, it simplifies the tax structure, which was complicated earlier in form of 4 rate slabs, and it is converting it into 2 rate slabs, simplifying the structure, putting all the items, major items of similar nature into same slab, so making it very simple tax. Second, it has reduced the rates on a large number of items. As your report was earlier mentioning, almost 390 plus items, the rates have been reduced in this reform. So the benefit of this reform is ultimately going to the common man, to the citizens, as my Honorable Prime Minister highlighted, emphasized yesterday, that the motto of these reforms and before the government was consumer welfare only, citizen or citizen Devo Bhav, Nagarik Devo Bhav. And considering that in mind, these reforms have reduced the rates on a very large number of items. Most of the essential use items are now either exempted or in 5% slab. And other items, health related items, most of them are now in 5% or exempted. Similarly, insurance, health insurance and life insurance, that has been exempted fully. Agricultural items, they have been brought to 5%. Similarly, stationary items, most of them, the number of them have been exempted. And automobile, the rate reduction is quite huge. So combined, you will see it will result in a lot of savings for the consumer. And ultimately, this dispensable income, which will come in the hands of the consumers, it's going to be put in purchase of more products, which will give a big boost to the industrial growth of the country and to ultimately accelerate Indian economic growth.
Okay, cars, including small cars and mini SUVs, will be seeing a significant cut in prices following the GST rate cut. Could you tell us about these price cuts and the consequent gains for the middle class and the neo-middle class, as also for all consumers?
Look, before the rate cut, most of these automobile items, they were in higher slab of 28%, equivalent to the same goods. And along with the compensation cess, which was also leviable, ranging from 1% to 10, 15%. So after this reform, the rates on the automobiles, which are for common men or for middle class, they have been brought down from 28% to 28%. Small cars, three-wheelers, two-wheelers, buses, trucks, all these items have been brought in a rate of 18%. Tractors have been brought to 5%. So you will see that, and compensation cess has also been removed now. So combined effect of these reductions will give a significant rate reduction in automobile sector, and automobile sector will be one of the biggest beneficiary of these rate reductions in my view.
Okay.
The demand of automobiles will pick up, and because today is the onset of festival season also, and Navratris, a lot of people make huge purchases of automobiles. So this is going to be a big bonanza for the automobile sector.
Okay, MSMEs are a very important player in the Indian economy, and they are extremely important both as regards producing goods for export and providing employment. How far will MSMEs benefit from GST 2.0?
MSMEs are the main partner in this growth story, and the reform will ultimately depend on the participation of MSME in this reform process. Because if the full benefit of these rate reductions is passed on to the consumers, and MSME will play a major role in that, then the demand boost and consumption growth will ultimately help all the industries, including MSME. And yesterday's Prime Minister's speech highlighted the benefit of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Swadeshi movement, and which will highlight the purchase of more and more domestic products. This will give a very big boost to the MSME sector, because instead of importing the products, instead of buying the imported products, people will use the domestic products, and this will increase the demand for MSME products and their supplies and turnover.
Okay, as goods get cheaper, sir, can we expect Indian exports to also benefit as soon as the international climate normalizes? We have Piyush Goyal in Washington today, so of course the India-US trade talks are on the right track.
Tanvi, in the medium run, after a certain time, in short run, immediately it may not be of that huge benefit to the exports. But definitely in medium term, it will be a huge benefit to the export market, because it will increase the competitiveness of Indian industry through increased demand, through increased investment. they will have more cost competitiveness. They will be in a position to make their supplies to export market more competitively. So I think in medium term it will be a big booster for export sector also.
Okay, we leave it here. Thank you very much, Sanjay Mangalji, for giving us your perspective on this historic day, the rollout of GST 2.0 reforms.